If you value your sleep, don't book this place, and don't ever, under any circumstance, be alone inside it. Deep in the quiet town of Atchison, Kansas, there is a house that doesn't just feel haunted. It feels conscious. A house that watches you enter. A house that reacts when you speak. A house that becomes violent if it thinks you're staying too long. Visitors describe being scratched, pushed, even burned by something they couldn't see. Investigators say the temperature drops more than 20 degrees in seconds. And almost everyone who steps inside has the same impression. Something here doesn't want me to leave alive. This is the Sallie House. One of the most violently haunted homes in America. And the nursery upstairs is the room where no one should ever be alone. Before we begin, if you survive this story, like the video so others can find it, and subscribe right now. The next place we're visiting is even worse. Trust me, you won't want to face it alone. Chapter 1. The Little Girl Who Never Left. The house was built in the late 1800s and originally owned by Dr. Charles Finney, a physician who treated patients inside the home. According to local legend, a little girl named Sallie, around 6 years old, was brought in one night with severe abdominal pain. The doctor believed she had appendicitis and decided to operate immediately. But the anesthetic he used didn't work. Halfway through the surgery, Sallie woke up, panicking, screaming, feeling everything. She died on the operating table, in unimaginable agony. It said her spirit remained in the house, confused, terrified, and desperate. But that's only the beginning, because what haunts the Sallie House today is not just a little girl. Something darker came right behind her. Chapter 2. The Pickman Family. When the house turned violent, the most famous residents of the Sallie House were Tony and Deborah Pickman, who moved in during the early 1992. At first, strange things happened. Lights flickering, baby toys turning on by themselves, cold spots forming at random. Deborah felt watched, especially on the stairs. But Tony experienced something far worse. He began waking with scratches on his chest and back. Deep, angry scratches, sometimes in sets of 3, sometimes in long, claw-like marks that appeared while filming. Investigators witnessed the scratches form in real time. One night, Tony felt a burning sensation on his arm. Deborah lifted his sleeve and screamed. There, carved into his skin, was the shape of a child's drawing, a small handprint, far too small to be his. Tony felt something whisper in his ear, "Get out!" But the worst incident happened in the nursery. Chapter 3. The Nursery. The room you should never be alone in, the upstairs nursery, is the most active room in the Sallie House. Visitors describe the same feelings. Their chest tightening, difficulty breathing, the sensation of tiny fingers touching their neck, and the overwhelming urge to run. Tony walked into the nursery alone one night and immediately felt cold air wrap around him, like arms. He froze. He couldn't move. He felt breath on the back of his neck, a child's soft exhale. Then something scratched him again, but deeper this time. The marks looked like the number 7 dragged across his skin. He stumbled out of the room, crying, shaking, and refused to enter it again. Deborah would later say, "The house didn't want Tony, but it wanted me to watch him suffer." Chapter 4. Paranormal investigators running out of the house. Dozens of ghost hunters have entered the Sallie House. Many left immediately. Some report growling coming from empty rooms, shadows crossing the hallways, toys moving on their own, furniture shaking, doors opening violently, and photographs capturing a small figure. Standing at the top of the stairs, a well-known investigator described the house as intelligent, aggressive, manipulative. Another said, there is something here, pretending to be a little girl. EVP recordings captured chilling voices. Get out. Don't trust her. He belongs to me. In one investigation, a team asked, "Who's here with us?" A childlike voice responded, "Sallie." Then, a second, deeper voice whispered, "Leave." Half the crew ran out of the house and refused to return. Chapter 5. Is Sallie really a child? Over the years, experts have questioned whether the spirit in the house is actually a little girl. Child ghosts are extremely rare, but entities pretending to be children to gain trust, much more common. The violent scratches, aggressive behavior, temperature drops, and deep male EVPs suggest something darker, a manipulative presence, using the image of a little girl to lure people deeper into the house. The nursery, the child's room, may not be haunted by Sallie at all. It may be a doorway, a trap, a room designed to make you feel safe, just long enough for the real entity to reach you. But there is one place inside the Sallie House that even investigators with decades of experience refuse to enter alone. The basement. At the bottom of the narrow stairs, the air shifts instantly, as if the house itself is exhaling on you. The temperature drops so sharply, your breath becomes visible, even in the middle of summer. Teams who step into that darkness report hearing whispers echoing around them, circling them, tightening like a rope. Not English, not Latin, a language that feels ancient, older than the house, older than the land it stands on. Some say the whispers sound like a child humming, but when audio analysts enhance the recordings, a second voice, deep, distorted, impossible to identify, appeared just under the humming. A voice with no clear pitch, vibrating through the floorboards, as if the foundation of the house were trying to speak. In the center of the basement floor, there is a burn mark shaped like a circle. Many believe rituals were performed here. Others believe it is the place where something attached itself to the home and has never left. Paranormal equipment malfunctions immediately. Cameras shut off. Batteries drain from 100% to 0 in seconds. EMF meters spike so violently, they sometimes crack. One investigator captured footage of a shadow standing in the corner. But when the video was slowed down, the shadow wasn't standing. It was floating, its feet several inches above the ground. Another investigator felt a freezing hand grab his wrist in the dark. He described it as small, childlike, but the grip tightened with a force no child could ever produce. And that's the most disturbing part. What lives in the basement is not Sallie. People who spend too long down there report a pressure on their spine, as if something is climbing onto their back. Days later, many wake up with scratches on their legs and arms, small fingerprints, as if something crawled up the stairs behind them. The Sallie House is more than haunted. It's predatory. If you ever visit Atchison, Kansas, don't step into the nursery alone. Don't stand on the staircase after dark, and don't let anything whisper your name from the upstairs hallway. If you survived this episode, like the video so others can find it. Subscribe right now so you don't face the next haunting alone, because next time we're entering a place where even paranormal investigators refuse to walk in without saying goodbye first. If you value your sleep,